spirituality. So, picking up on my other video, talking about, I had something to drink up here. I can't find it. Talking about, talking about, how I became into this spiritual path. And let me just say this, man. This fucking shit is hard. I just want people to understand how hard this fucking path is. It's hard as fuck. It's lonely as fuck. Nobody relates to you. You're going to be the black sheep of your family because nobody's going to relate to you. You may have people who are supportive. They might be like, yeah, girl, I think this is doing well for you. Or or I support this. You might be able to piggyback off a little bit. But this shit lonely as fuck. And nobody will understand you. Nobody. Nobody will understand you in your direct life. Unless they on the same path that you're on. But 9 times out of 10 is one person in the family. One. That's the black sheep. The person that know what it is. That don't believe the fucking hype. That don't believe the lies. That don't follow religion. I never did. As a child. I've always been the fucking black sheep. Always. Always been different. So this spiritual journey is lonely as fuck. It's tiring as fuck. You go down rabbit holes after rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole trying to search for the truth. Brenda, bring me a soda, please. And you just don't get like you don't get no break unless you choose to take a break. Like if you just choose to separate yourself and be the so-called karmic feminine, separating yourself from the divine, then it's easy. Life is easy because then you don't really have to care when you're a karmic person, when you just out here just doing whatever, not thinking about what you're doing before you do it, just falling in love with anybody that show you attention. All that shit that I used to do in my past that still had me lonely right now. So it's like I was meant for this. I came into this realm for this shit. I guess, you know what I mean? This was what I came here for. I came into this family to be the black sheep of the family, to never be accepted, to always be the one that nobody ever gets, the person who never can find unconditional love. Whether it's within or without, whatever, however you want to say it. I know unconditional love come within. But we all out here desire a partner. We all out here desire somebody that we going to be with. Whether it's for the rest of our fucking life. Some of us will love that. So this unconditional single love bullshit is bullshit to me. Bullshit. Because you can love yourself unconditionally all your fucking life and still not be with nobody. And be miserable as fuck. You can be unconditionally loving, pouring it out all over the place. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then you go home and you get in your fucking bed by your fucking self. So that unconditional love within, that's cool. Yeah, it's lonely. Because you have to be divine. You have to be able to spend this lonely time to yourself for meditation and growth. This is what this whole path is about. And I know I sound like, Brenton, bring me a soda! Sorry. But I know this is, I know I'm making it sound like it's like the worst thing, because it's not. It's only like that when you don't have nobody like that relates to you. There you go. You on camera. I'm recording a video. It only happens like that when you in this rise by yourself. And nobody is open-minded enough to drop the fucking paradigm that was created for us. Everything that we was taught is a goddamn lie. Everything that they do in this fucking world is about money. It's my shit. That's Pellegrino, my sister, to tell me how to say that. Anyway, I know it's a soda. I ain't perfect. Fuck y'all. So, so this fucking journey, man. Let me. So, so this shit, man. So you know, after going through the death of my baby father, and you know, rising from that and hooking up with my witchy sisters and getting support from them through social media, I started to take off on my own. I really didn't feel the need. I'm a Capricorn, Cap Sun, Cap Moon, Cap Mercury, okay? And everything, basically everything else in my chart is Sagittarius. So, bop, 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 bop. Like, I'm in it, I'm in it, I'm in it, I'm in it. So, I am full force in it, and this thing. I ain't no going back, but I had to take off on my own. That's the reason I was talking about my sign, even though people don't go by that. Some personality traits, it is what it is. It relates. So, I have the personality traits of Cap, Sag. Mostly everywhere else. Sag ascendant, rising, Sag and Venus, Sag and like Neptune. I got like 6 placements in Sag. Anyway, so I have those personality traits. So I don't need no, I'm not going to say that. Once I pick up enough information from a particular group of people, from a book, from a video, whatever the case may be, once I picked up the knowledge from that, I start studying on my own. I don't need to reference, you know, the people. I don't need to talk. I just start doing my own research, coming up with my own ideas. They just gave me the blueprint, that witchy group. Shout out to the Baltimore DMV witches, because they helped me build my foundation into spirituality. As far as doing rituals, my first ritual was I want to say it was a money or a self ritual, like self-love. It was even I think it was money. It might have been money or self-love, whichever one was my first quote-unquote ritual or whatever, based on research and items that the ladies in the group, it's like one male, ladies and gent in the group, gave me advice on how to do that. And then once I do that, I just take off, because I'm a nerd. I study. I read. I watch. And then I apply. Sometimes it's just easy for me to just apply the shit without researching it, which is what I did with the money ritual, and I should have researched first before I did it. The money ended up coming like 6 to 8 months later. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, 7 months later, the money ended up coming. So it did work. And then I either did the self-love one before or after ritual. Self-love, doing a sweet jar. So I started doing that type of stuff first, you know, building my altar, who I wanted my altar to be dedicated to, who I wanted to focus my craft on. And I always was, since I was a little girl, I loved Egyptian history. I loved the Egyptian culture. I wanted to get married, Egyptian style wedding, like wear the clothes, do the whole ceremony, had animals there, like there's this movie called A Little Princess. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if you haven't, check it out. It's called A Little Princess. And that movie, along with other books and pictures and color, I used to color so much, and I always wanted to be in the Egyptian culture. So that's the first thing I did with my altar, is create an Isis. She was on my altar like first, because I was like, I'm gonna be the Egyptian out. This is gonna be my whole thing, because this is where I feel, I don't know, maybe in the past, that's my most recent past life, maybe I was an Egyptian woman, I don't know, but it resonated with me so much. Even that storyline in that movie resonated with me so much, and it always made me use my imagination, because that's what they did in the movie. They used their imagination to eat because they were starving. Now you gotta watch the movie. So I've always been into stuff like that. Always, always, always. Since I was a little girl. Practical Magic, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charmed, The Witches of Eastwick. It's so many. I can't even name. There's so many shows. Bewitched, when they used to run the reruns on TV Land. I'm forgetting another witch that used to be back in the day that they played on TV Land. Can't think of that, but I used to watch. I loved that shit. Like, I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So it was easy for me to transition. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of what they was talking about. I wasn't scared of what they was doing. The only thing I was hesitating about was dark magic. And I remember having a conversation with Chanel. Love you, babe. Had a conversation with Chanel. And she was like, well, you gotta accept the dark with the light. And I'm like, no, I don't want no parts of the dark magic. I don't want no parts of that dark stuff. I don't even want to know about it. This is supposed to be about love, and that's so that's what had me like with the witch stuff. Because I didn't want to accept that there's a dark side to everything. It's a dark side to me. It's a dark side to everything. So I didn't want to accept it. And so that kind of scared, that part of it scared me, because I knew what I watched as a little girl when people who practice dark magic and things that happened to them, and I was like, I don't want shit to happen to me. But it ended up happening anyway, because I didn't do it correctly. I didn't consult my witchy sisters on what to do. I went gung-ho, doing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. Capricorn Sage characteristics. Stubborn as fuck. So I did it the way that I wanted to do it. And I got into an accident. A life-threatening accident. Like, I could have died playing with that stuff. So I took a break. After my accident, after me doing that ritual, and then not even that long later, I got into an accident. And then I took a break. I got scared. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? And then Chanel told me, like, I'm sorry, I'm be smoking too. Chanel told me, like, you didn't protect yourself. This was later on after we talked about it. She was like, you didn't protect yourself. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. Because she was like, when you do it, where's the money coming from? Like, the universe has to respond. It has to come from somewhere. It just don't come out the sky. So I didn't protect myself. And so I got into an accident. I wasn't driving, but I was asleep. Got into the accident. Took a break from spirituality, practicing witchcraft. That shit scared me. So maybe 3-4 months later, I get back into it with like full force now. Like, I can't remember what series of events happened, because for me, I'm stubborn, Cap Sag. I'm very stubborn, okay? And I'm very know-it-all-ish. And so, I don't know. I say that to say that it always takes something to happen. Like, it always takes something to happen to me. Wake my eyes up. I'm working on it. Meditation. Because I hate that shit. So, I don't know what happened for me to get back into it, like, so gung-ho. But once I was into it, I was back into it heavy. Like, into it heavy. I'm having my boyfriend at the time. He building altars. I'm traveling. I'm going to meeting different people. I met Becky tarot reader, excellent. Love her to death. Love you, Becky. She helped me out a lot. I can still hear her to this day, and we ain't even got to see each other in person, and she can read me over the phone. And I've done tarot in the past too. I've had readings in the past and all that. So one of my readings I had in the past told me my first child would be a boy, and my first child is a boy. So y'all can play with this if you want to, and you don't think it's real. You think it's witchcraft or whatever negative word they want to put in whatever whatever negative word they want to put behind it, because they practice this shit. They ain't telling you this shit. They practice this shit. You think the higher ups ain't practicing witchcraft? How the fuck y'all niggas think most of the sheeple out here is hypnotized to the news and shit? They been doing this shit. Watch Out of Shadows on YouTube. They tell you how you been brainwashed since as soon as you came out the womb. Everything that you know has been told to you by some books that was created to brainwash you. Some programming that was there to brainwash you. So when I start waking up and getting into this life, yeah, I got exposed to a lot that I didn't know. Dan Calloway, shout out to him. Young Pharaoh, shout out to him. If he ever sees this, Young Pharaoh, Black Woman is God. Brother Sanchez, shout out to him. And the last person that I needed in my spiritual, well, I ain't gonna say ever, but the last person that really took me, because I was meditating like I don't know what, root chakra meditation in the tub every single day. I had the root chakra incense, the root chakra candles, the oils, putting the root chakra oils in my tub every single day. I was doing this for months. Just the root chakra, never rose, just the months. Doing this shit every single day. Meditating, watching, listening to guided meditations on YouTube, which they work. Watch the guided meditations on YouTube. Listening to binaural beats, which I still listen to this day. I ain't gonna get on what I do now. I'm gonna make another video for that and how I elevate it. But last person, Will Capru, shout out, baby. I love you so much. Love you always, 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 always will love you, Will Capru. He was the person who really elevated my ascension. He the one that was telling me. He the one told me I was meditating wrong and all that stuff. Told me how to really meditate, how to really go within. I started seeing. When I talked to Will Capru, I started seeing shit that I've never seen. I was able to start communicating with people who you guys would say passed on the other side, whatever you want to say, spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call it. I could communicate with them in meditation. I can meditate with my eyes open. I didn't even know that was such a thing until Will Capru told me that when he had me in meditation over the phone, my eyes was open and I was still doing other stuff and I could still be in meditation. I was actually cooking the day that he opened my eyes, really opened my eyes. My eyes was open, but he was just like, pew. This way right here. It was really, he really opened that for me. And when I started communicating to my grandmother, who's in the realm, to my aunt who's in the realm, to people I didn't even know, that I wasn't closely associated with. Like I say, my neighbor's mother or grandmother. My sister's best friend daughter who passed away. Well, old best friend daughter who passed away. I seen her. So, after Will Capru, I was able to ascend to a whole nother level. And my spiritual awakening. Sorry, y'all, smoking. After being able to communicate with the quote unquote dead, because what I learned from Will Capru is that these people aren't really dead. Energy doesn't die. Energy just moves on. You either rise or you return to another experience, or you rise to a different dimension, depending on what you did in this life here. So once I had that stuck in my mind that energy don't die, I started seeing the energies that aren't dead. And it didn't scare me, you know, my reaction, honestly, when this shit would happen, when I would be in meditation and I would connect with somebody who was quote unquote dead, the energies, I would ask them, like, I would say, like, oh my God, you coming to see me? Like, especially like celebrity, when I started seeing celebrities that was passing, like Kobe and, what's that boy name? Nipsey, John Witherspoon. When I started seeing the celebrities, I was in such shock. I was just like, oh, little old me. Like I'm very humble. I'm just like, y'all come to talk to little old me? Like, I ain't nobody. And it would just shock me that the things that they would tell me and what they would show me, and I would still be questioning it. Because I didn't have anybody to talk to. When I would reach out to certain individuals, they wouldn't respond. And I didn't have anybody to talk to, I guess, confirm. I needed confirmation. I guess, you know, I needed some type of confirmation, like that I am saying what I'm saying. Because I didn't believe that I was saying what I was saying. I didn't believe that these people was really communicating with me and talking to me and showing me, like John Witherspoon showed me messages about what really happened to him. And it's like, I didn't know how to interpret that. After talking to somebody that knows how to interpret it, I know what he was telling me now. But I didn't have anybody at the time to be like, oh my God, guess what I was shown? Or my grandmother taking me to Cape Canaveral when they faked that shit. You know, like, it's that elevation from Will Capru was fucking amazing. I don't even know how to describe it. Look him up, Will Capru, Facebook. He does have older videos on YouTube, but look him up on Facebook. You won't regret it unless your mind is closed. That's the only how you gonna regret watching his shit, listening to him, is if your mind is closed. If you still want to believe in all the hype and what the fuck is going on in the world, and you still watching that shit, and you still want to believe in it, and you can't let it go, you can't let go what the fuck you've been taught and start from scratch, don't watch his videos. Because that's what this takes. This takes you back into kindergarten, pre-K, okay? Starting over from scratch, relearning everything that they told you that was a lie. That's what opening your third eye is. That's what going into spirituality means. It means shedding this old fucked up paradigm, this religious shit, everything that's controlling your mind. Drop it. Start from scratch. That's how you open up in spirituality. Real spirituality, because now you got the religious people calling themselves spiritual. But spirituality and religion is two totally different things. Spirituality, there is no doctrine to follow. Because the only teaching is growing to your higher self and becoming your God-like self, which is ultimate love of everything and everybody. That's it. That's it.